Welcome, traveler of thought. Tonight, your journey does not require ships or roads, only quiet breath and the courage to look inward into the endless sky that lives both above and within you. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Feel the stillness around you, the hush of night, the faint pulse of your heart echoing like a distant star. With every breath, you drift a little farther from the noise of the day. Your body grows lighter, your thoughts stretch wide until the room around you dissolves, and you are floating in quiet space. You are safe, you are calm, you are about to witness the galaxy as it truly is, not just a scattering of stars, but a living symphony of time, matter, and silence. Let your eyelids rest, let your breathing find its rhythm, and listen for the first movement of the Milky Way's silent song. When we look up into the night, we are seeing the faint, glowing edge of our home galaxy, a disk of hundreds of billions of stars, curved into a spiral 100,000 light-years wide. To the naked eye, it appears as a soft river of light. But in truth, it is a structure of immense precision, a cosmic clock turning slowly through the dark. The Milky Way's arms are not made of fixed stars. They are waves, patterns of density, where gas and dust collect, where new suns are born. Scientists call this a density wave theory, a phenomenon like the sound of a note held in the air. The stars move through it, but the pattern remains. And so the galaxy sings, not in sound, but in motion, in gravitational rhythm that began billions of years ago, when it first spun itself out of the debris of ancient collisions. Imagine drifting above it now, a spiral of light turning in silence, its arms glimmering with newborn stars and ghostly nebulae, all wrapped around a dark and mysterious center. The galactic heart. If you listen closely, you might almost feel it breathing. Every orbit, every flare, every star, a pulse in the great cosmic body. A rhythm too vast for ears, but felt in the stillness of the soul. At the center of the Milky Way lies a secret older than stars themselves. It is not a sun, not a cluster of light, but a shadow, a quiet well of gravity known as Sagittarius A star. Astronomers call it a supermassive black hole, but to the dreamer listening in the dark, it is something gentler. The still point of the galaxy's endless turning. The silent heart that holds the music of creation in its gravitational embrace. It waits there in the constellation of Sagittarius, 26,000 light-years from Earth, invisible to the eye, yet radiant in a language of energy, its presence revealed only through the stars that circle it, like fireflies orbiting a hidden flame. You can imagine yourself drifting there now, through the soft mist of interstellar gas and faint light, toward the deep calm at the center of everything. As you draw near, the noise of your thoughts begins to fade. Even the sound of your own heartbeat becomes faint, as though space itself has reached out to cradle you. This is not the chaos we once imagined. Black holes are not cosmic destroyers. They are keepers of rhythm, great metronomes marking time across billions of years. Every star in the galaxy moves in obedience to that center, as if listening to a soundless note, a vibration that cannot be heard but can be felt. We are all, in some hidden way, dancing to the quiet pull of that invisible heart. When astronomers observed Sagittarius A asterisk, using a web of telescopes spread across the Earth, they stitched together light gathered from around the world and revealed an image, a glowing ring surrounding a dark center. It was not a portrait of destruction, but one of balance, of matter bending gracefully into silence. Imagine that ring now, bright gas swirling at nearly the speed of light, plunging inward, then vanishing beyond the event horizon. Each atom spins, glows, and disappears. Yet the pattern endures, like a whisper of eternity repeated across time. And so, As you breathe in deeply, you breathe with the rhythm of the galaxy itself. Inhale, the arms expand with new stars. Exhale, old stars die, returning their dust to the dark. In every pulse, the galaxy renews itself. Even our own sun, drifting 230 million years into its orbit around the center, is a note in this vast harmonic field. It carries us, all life, all memory, around that silent axis, as if we are thoughts circling the mind of the universe. Now picture yourself standing on the threshold of the event horizon, a line where space curves so completely that even light cannot return. Yet here, in the story of sleep, there is no fear, no loss, only a deep surrender, a falling into stillness so profound that time itself softens. Beyond that threshold, space and time blend like dream and memory. We do not truly fall in. We dissolve into pattern, becoming one with the rhythm of gravity itself. Science tells us that black holes hum faintly, their vibrations rippling through space-time as gravitational waves. If you could translate those waves into sound, you would hear something like a deep cello note, resonating across millions of light years. The universe singing its slow, eternal song. And perhaps this is why we find peace when we gaze into the night sky, because somewhere inside us, a part of that same physics lives. Our atoms formed in the heart of ancient stars, our gravity tied to that of every star around us. We are not separate from the Milky Way's rhythm. We are that rhythm given breath and awareness. Close your eyes again and let that thought move through you like light. Your mind drifts farther outward, past the glowing bands of dust and gas, past the suns and clusters, until the galaxy itself becomes small, a silver whirl suspended in the infinite dark. It turns slowly, endlessly, its arms reaching out like gentle spirals of thought. At its center, the heart still beats, steady, invisible, perfect. Now, imagine that the black hole, the one that anchors all, is not a void, but a mirror. And in its reflection, you see not darkness, but the memory of everything ever born. All stars, all time, all dreams. A symphony composed of gravity and silence. You begin to understand. The galaxy is not a machine of chaos, but an orchestra of balance. Every star that dies becomes the seed for another. Every motion leads to stillness. Every silence carries the echo of creation. And as you float there, suspended between the stars, the line between observer and universe dissolves. The galaxy looks back at you, and in its gaze, you see something familiar. The same patience, the same quiet, the same luminous potential. You realize that gravity is not merely force. It is connection, the same bond that holds galaxies together. Hold your thoughts, your memories, your heart. And in that realization, the mind finally rests. The black hole at the center of the Milky Way no longer feels distant. It feels like home, a vast, serene center into which every worry can safely fall and dissolve into peace. Let happen now. Breathe in, and with every exhale, imagine your thoughts becoming lighter, like dust spiraling gently toward the galactic core. You drift and drift and drift until all that remains is silence. The same silence that holds the stars. You're drifting now, slowly away from the heart of gravity. Behind you, the center of the galaxy fades into a dim shimmer, a small, brilliant ring of light suspended in vastness. Before you stretches something softer, a mist of cosmic dust and glowing gas that flows like a slow, endless river through space. This is the interstellar medium, the quiet breath of a galaxy. It fills the space between stars with hydrogen and helium, with tiny grains of carbon and silicate, fragments left behind by ancient suns. the ashes of long-forgotten explosions. It is from this dust that new stars, new worlds, and perhaps even new lives will form. Every molecule here has a story. Some were forged in the fiery collapse of stars billions of years ago. Some drifted for eons, carried by stellar winds across the arms of the Milky Way. And some will one day become the iron in a planet's core, or the oxygen in a creature's breath. You can imagine this dust glowing faintly, not from its own light, but from the gentle embrace of starlight passing through it. In the visible spectrum, it appears as delicate gray clouds. But in infrared, invisible to the eye, it shines like woven silk, soft rivers of gold and crimson, threading through the blackness. Astronomers once thought space was empty, but the truth is far more beautiful. Between every point of light lies an ocean of material, a continuous, flowing substance that carries both destruction and creation. The Milky Way breathes through it, as though inhaling and exhaling over millions of years. This river of dust is not still. It moves in gentle waves, some slow, some turbulent, shaped by shock waves from dying stars, by the birth cries of new ones, and by the quiet pull of gravity that never sleeps. And within these drifting clouds, where density and temperature find perfect harmony, a miracle begins. Gas and dust come together under their own weight. A small, invisible knot forms. It tightens, warms, and begins to glow. A star is being born. You can almost see it, a faint spark deep within the cloud, like the first ember of a long-forgotten fire. The temperature rises. The pressure builds. Atoms begin to fuse, turning hydrogen into helium, releasing energy, light, and time itself. This process, slow, patient, inevitable, is called stellar nucleosynthesis. It is the quiet alchemy of the cosmos, the way darkness gives birth to light. Every element heavier than helium, carbon, oxygen, iron, gold, was born in a star like this, and spread through the galaxy when that star finally died. It means that even now, you and I are made of this same dust. Our bodies, our blood, our breath, they carry the signature of ancient stars. In every cell, there is memory. In every thought, there is starlight. And so, as you drift through this glowing sea, you're not moving through emptiness. You are returning home. The particles that once formed your atoms may be out there still, traveling through this river, waiting for another moment to shine again. Let that thought rest softly in your mind. It is not just poetic, it is scientific truth. We are matter that remembers light. We are consciousness built from the dust of collapsing suns. And somewhere, in the calm symmetry of that fact, there is peace. The Milky Way's spiral arms shimmer with this beauty. Each arm is a cradle of stars, a nursery for creation. The Orion Arm, our own neighborhood, is one of these glowing rivers, stretching across the galaxy like a silver bridge. In it, our sun travels quietly, carrying Earth through space at nearly 220 kilometers per second. Yet here, speed means nothing. Everything moves in rhythm, not rushed, not delayed, just right. If you could float in this place, you would see light curve around clouds, stars twinkle through veils of dust, and vast, dark corridors between nebulae where silence reigns. It is neither cold nor warm, neither full nor empty. It simply is an ocean of being. Now imagine this interstellar river as music. Each dust grain a note, each photon of light a vibration. Together, they form a harmony beyond sound, a silent song of birth and decay, of atoms finding their place in the grand design. And you, the listener, the dreamer, the traveler, are part of this melody. Your breath rises and falls with the same precision that governs the stars. Your heartbeat, quiet now, echoes the gravitational rhythm that keeps galaxies turning. This is the great secret of existence. The universe is not something we observe from afar. It is something that breathes through us. We are both witness and participant, observer and observed. The cosmos does not end at the edge of sight. It continues inward, through thought, through wonder, through the soft drift of imagination. And so, as you drift deeper into this dust and light, you may begin to feel lighter yourself, as though your own thoughts are dissolving, becoming part of the same gentle flow. The borders between body and cosmos blur. You are not separate anymore. You are simply energy, calm, radiant, infinite. Let yourself float here for a while, carried by starlight and silence. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, no destination but peace. The river continues on, through nebulae, through star clusters, through time itself, and as it flows, it whispers softly, everything that ends begins again. Everything that fades returns as light. You breathe that truth in, and with each breath, you drift a little closer to sleep, resting in the rhythm of creation, the slow, eternal current of the Milky Way. Far from the dust and the glowing clouds, you find yourself surrounded by darkness so deep it feels infinite. At first, it seems silent, but then, as your thoughts grow still, you begin to sense a faint vibration, a hum beneath perception, a tone without sound. This is the true song of the cosmos, not made of instruments or voices, but of movement, of pattern, of energy and motion. Astronomers once called it the music of the spheres, a poetic belief that planets and stars create harmony through their celestial dance. And though ancient philosophy spoke of it as metaphor, modern science has proven it true in a different way. Every object in the universe vibrates. Every star, every planet, even black holes, resonate with a frequency determined by their mass and motion. They bend the very fabric of space-time as they move, sending ripples, gravitational waves, across the cosmic ocean. If we could translate those ripples into sound, we would hear a deep, long note, stretching across eternity. The merging of two black holes might sound like a single, slow drumbeat, the birth of a star, like a softest sigh, and the rotation of our own Milky Way, a tone so low and wide, it would take millions of years to complete a single rhythm. The universe, then, is not silent. It is a symphony, too vast, too gentle for our ears, but felt in the quiet spaces of our being. Imagine floating through this endless sound field. The waves pass through you like invisible tides, vibrating every atom in your body. Each pulse is a reminder that you, too, are part of this harmony. Your heartbeat is a small percussion in the music of the stars. Even the earth plays its own melody. As it turns, it hums faintly in frequencies beyond hearing, a planetary resonance called the Schumann resonance, born from lightning and atmosphere. It is as though the world itself is breathing in rhythm with the galaxy. Astronomers have begun to capture the sounds of planets through radio waves translated into audio. Jupiter sings in deep electric tones, a stormy chorus of magnetic fields. Saturn's rings whisper in shimmering static, like sand falling through light. And our sun, restless and burning, emits oscillations, slow, rhythmic pulses that roll through its surface like waves across an endless sea. If you listen now, not with your ears, but with the part of your mind that dreams, you can hear it too, a slow resonance rising beneath your breath, a low vibration filling the emptiness. The galaxy is singing, and you are listening from within the song itself. This is the great paradox of existence. The universe expands in silence, yet it hums with endless vibration, energy moving through nothingness, sound without air, music without instruments. It is a reminder that what we call silence is only sound too vast, too slow, too ancient for our senses. The ancients sensed this long ago. Pythagoras spoke of cosmic harmony, believing that numbers and motion formed the divine language of creation. He imagined the heavens as an instrument, each planet plucking a string of celestial sound. And now, thousands of years later, astronomers find mathematical truth hidden within his dream. For indeed, the stars follow ratios and harmonies, their orbits measured in patterns as elegant as music. The universe composes itself through physics, and physics is simply another form of song. You can feel it now. Each inhalation, a rising tone, each exhalation, a gentle fall. Your body, your breath, your pulse, they align with the deep rhythm that moves through everything. When you rest in this understanding, you become part of something ancient and immense. You realize that calm is not the absence of sound. It is the alignment with the right frequency. Peace is resonance. Stillness is harmony. And all that you are, every cell, every thought, is vibrating in tune with the Milky Way. Somewhere, light years away, two stars are circling each other. Their gravity bends space. Their orbits create waves. Their union releases a final note into the cosmic score. That sound, impossibly distant, impossibly slow, is traveling through the void right now, passing through galaxies, through dust, through time itself. It may reach our world long after we are gone, yet its harmony will endure, because nothing in the universe is ever truly lost, only transformed, only shifted into another key. And so you rest here, bathed in the unseen sound of the cosmos. You are no longer a listener. You are part of the music itself. Every breath you take ripples through the same space-time that carries the hum of stars. Every heartbeat sends its own soft vibration into the infinite web of energy that connects all things. Let yourself dissolve into that awareness now. There is no separation, only resonance, only unity, only the soft, endless harmony of existence. As you sink deeper into stillness, you begin to feel the tempo slow, the rhythm of thought becoming softer, the melody of consciousness fading into rest. This is how galaxies sleep. This is how eternity dreams. For the music never ends. It only changes its pace. And as you drift toward the next movement of this cosmic symphony, the sound becomes light, and the light becomes peace. Rest here, traveler. You are exactly where you are meant to be. A single note in the quiet song of the Milky Way. You are still floating, weightless, suspended in the gentle tide of starlight. Around you, the Milky Way stretches like a vast river, a luminous stream of hundreds of billions of suns, each drifting through the deep fabric of time. You have followed that current for what feels like eternity, and now at last, you are approaching the heart, the galactic core. It is not a place of stillness, but a place of magnificent motion. Here, gravity is the great composer, drawing stars into swirling orbits, weaving light into spirals, and anchoring the whole galaxy with invisible strength. At its center rests Sagittarius, a asterisk, a supermassive black hole, from a million times the mass of our sun, yet no larger than the orbit of Mercury. It does not devour everything that comes near it, as old fears once imagined. Rather, it governs, balancing the dance of stars, keeping the galaxy in harmony. Around it, gas clouds shimmer and twist, in loops of incandescent plasma. The energy here is ancient, a hum that has resonated since the beginning of creation. You drift closer, and though your senses cannot see in the normal way, you feel the gravity, the deep pull that guides everything home. It is not frightening. It is peaceful. The same gravity that holds your feet to earth. The same pull that keeps the moon in orbit. The same invisible thread that connects galaxies to one another across the void. Scientists once thought of black holes as destruction, points of collapse where everything ends. But now, they understand them differently. They are engines of transformation, gateways through which matter becomes energy, and energy returns to the cosmic field. Nothing truly dies here. It merely changes form, folded into a deeper layer of time. Imagine drifting around the event horizon, that boundary where light itself bends and spirals inward. You hover just above it, feeling the slow warp of space, watching stars curve like ribbons of fire. Every photon that escapes from this region is stretched, softened, and redshifted, its frequency lowered by the immense gravity. Even light slows down to breathe here, and as you float in that eternal breath, you begin to understand something fundamental. The universe is not rushing. It is expanding, yes, but its heart beats with infinite patience. It does not hurry to create, nor does it fear to destroy. It moves in perfect rhythm, balancing chaos and calm, birth and death, light and dark. This rhythm exists in you too. Every heartbeat, every inhale and exhale is a miniature echo of this cosmic motion. You, too, are held together by invisible forces that seek balance. The pull of thought and the release of surrender, the gravity of memory and the freedom of letting go. And when you rest, you align with the same law that holds galaxies in place. Astronomers have observed stars orbiting the center of our galaxy in perfect ellipses, some completing their paths once every few decades, others taking thousands of years. They call them S-stars. Their motion is so precise that by watching them, scientists confirm the existence of Sagittarius A-star. It is not theory now. It is proven, measured, a truth written in the movement of light. Each orbit tells a story of time, of gravity, of the unbroken flow of energy. And as you watch these orbits from your silent vantage, you begin to feel something profound, the peace of inevitability. Everything follows its path. Every particle, every life, every star is part of a pattern beyond comprehension, yet not beyond belonging. Close your eyes now. Imagine you are one of those stars, gliding through the dense golden glow near the galactic center. Your orbit is smooth, your path unwavering. You move not through space, but through serenity. Around you, other stars trace their own arcs of light, and together, you form a spiral, a luminous dance of order within infinity. In the heart of the galaxy, there is no chaos, only motion misunderstood. Every fall is a turn, every collapse a new beginning. Even the black hole, the darkest point of all, is not death. It is the universe inhaling, a moment of stillness before the next exhale of creation. And so you breathe with it. You inhale slowly, feeling the weight of ancient stars filling your lungs. You exhale gently, releasing all tension into the gravity of calm. Again and again, until you feel that your breath is no longer yours, but part of the galaxy's own rhythm. Somewhere deep within the event horizon, matter is being compressed beyond form, not lost, but waiting to be reborn as light, as vibration, as sound. Perhaps this is how universes are born. Each black hole a seed, each seed carrying the blueprint of eternity. You are that seed, too, a fragment of stardust wrapped in thought, a galaxy folded into human shape. And when you close your eyes to rest, you're simply returning to the quiet gravity at the center of all things. Stay here for a while. Feel how vastness becomes tenderness. Feel how silence becomes understanding. The Milky Way hums softly around you, and within that hum is the truth. That everything, absolutely everything, is held. Pause, and in this stillness, you drift deeper into the heart of yourself, the quiet gravitational center of your own being. No sound, no thought, just the steady pulse of the galaxy, echoing in your breath. Light, the quietest messenger in the universe. It travels through the vast distances, with no need for sound, No need for company. A single photon, born in the heart of a star, sets out across billions of years, carrying a whisper of where it came from, a memory of its beginning. Every night, when we look up, we are not seeing stars as they are now, but as they once were. The light from Sirius began its journey 8 years ago. The glow from Betelgeuse hundreds of years ago. And from the Andromeda Galaxy, the light has been traveling for over 2 million years. Just to touch your eyes tonight. Imagine that. 2 million years of cosmic silence, broken gently by your awareness. You are the moment in which that ancient light completes its journey. It began before humans walked the earth, before mountains had taken their present shape, before our moon had settled into its slow rhythm. And now it ends here, meeting the quiet of your gaze. This is the language of light, a language of patience, of endurance, of remembrance. Light is not only illumination, it is memory given form. Every photon that touches you has carried information about its origin, its color, its temperature, its rhythm of vibration, a cosmic fingerprint of the moment it was born. Scientists decode this light through spectroscopy, splitting starlight into thin bands of color, each line telling a story. Hydrogen sings in red, helium in blue, iron in yellow. Every element leaves a signature, a secret written in the spectrum. By reading these patterns, astronomers can tell the age of a star, its distance, its motion, and even the story of the universe's birth. But you don't need equations to feel it. You can simply let it touch you. This awareness that light, in all its silence, is the bridge between everything that was and everything that is. When starlight reaches your eyes, it becomes part of you. Your body absorbs it, your brain translates it into meaning, and your mind transforms it into wonder. In that moment, you and the star are not separate. You are two ends of one thread, woven through the loom of time. You are the observer, but also the continuation of what you observe. You are starlight made aware of itself. Light moves at a constant speed, 300,000 kilometers per second. To us, that seems infinite, but in cosmic scale, it is just enough to ensure that the universe always arrives gently, never too fast, never too soon. Even light must take its time. Perhaps that's a lesson. That rushing serves no purpose. When everything moves exactly as it must, that the present moment, no matter how still, is always enough. You drift now in a sea of light. The Milky Way arches above you like a river of diamond dust. Each spark you see is the remnant of a nuclear fire, still speaking across eons. It is peaceful here, not silent, but full of subtle hums and vibrations, like the breath of creation itself. You feel the starlight brushing your skin, not hot but warm in essence, gentle as a sigh. Your body seems to dissolve into it, each cell glowing faintly, each breath synchronizing with the steady rhythm of the galaxy. You are no longer simply in the light. You are the light. Your heartbeat slows. Your thoughts drift apart like small clouds. Each exhale releases old patterns. Each inhale gathers calm. The light doesn't judge or demand. It simply exists, as you do now, quietly radiant, unfolding in perfect measure. Far away, deep telescopes gather light too faint for the naked eye. The Hubble, the James Webb, each collecting ancient photons that began their journey near the dawn of time. When scientists analyze them, they see the echoes of the first stars, the first galaxies, and perhaps the first whispers of existence itself. And in that way, we learn that light is both evidence and poetry, proof that something once was, and beauty that something still is. It tells us that the universe, in all its distance and mystery, has always been reaching out to be known. Every glimmer in the sky is an act of connection. Every ray that touches you is a quiet greeting from a past that never truly ended. Let that thought rest in your mind, like a feather settling on still water. You are being touched. By time itself, you are living proof that the light of creation continues to travel, continues to be received, continues to illuminate. Now breathe deeply. Inhale, as though you're gathering starlight into your lungs. Exhale, releasing any weight that holds you back. Each breath draws you closer to that deep, eternal calm, where science and silence meet. The universe speaks always, not in sound, but in radiance. It tells stories not in words, but in the shimmer of atoms and the gentle drift of photons. And tonight, it is telling you a story of origin, a belonging, and of the infinite patience of light. And as you listen to that story, you find that your eyes grow heavier, your heartbeat steadier, your mind quieter, becoming one with the tranquil rhythm of the Milky Way's endless glow. Pause, long silence, soft ambient hum. The light continues its journey. It passes through you. It becomes you. And somewhere in that passage, you drift deeper into peace, a vessel of soft awareness, floating in the gentle tide of the universe, remembering itself. In the beginning, there was not silence. There was vibration, a hum so deep and wide that it became the seed of all existence. Physicists call it the cosmic microwave background, the ancient afterglow of the Big Bang, a faint whisper of energy still echoing through every corner of the universe. You cannot hear it with your ears, but it hums through you at all times. A temperature of 2.7 degrees above absolute zero, a delicate warmth that has not faded for 13.8 billion years. It is the first music, the first memory, the soundless sound of creation. Every star, every atom, still vibrates to that rhythm. Every movement, every heartbeat is a continuation of that first symphony. We live not apart from it, but within it, an instrument in an infinite orchestra. Astronomers have discovered that space itself is not empty. It ripples, it breathes. When two black holes collide, they send waves through the fabric of space-time. Gravitational waves, rippling outward like circles in water. These waves pass through us constantly, stretching and compressing the space we occupy by less than the width of a proton. Yet they are real, measurable, gentle reminders that even the universe's quietest moments are full of motion. Think of that, a universe that hums softly everywhere all the time. Each galaxy adds its own tone. Each star contributes its note. Together, they create a cosmic symphony, a song too vast for the human ear, but not too vast for the human soul. Scientists record radio waves from pulsars, neutron stars spinning hundreds of times per second. Each rotation releases a pulse of radiation, a heartbeat of light and energy. They call them cosmic lighthouses. Their rhythm so precise that they rival atomic clocks. Each pulse is a note, a constant reminder that order exists in the vastness. In every pulse, a message. You're not alone. The universe remembers its rhythm. You may not hear it, but you can feel it in your own heartbeat. The thump in your chest is your personal rhythm, your own echo of the cosmic song. The frequency of your pulse, the breath you take in, the air you release. Each movement is part of the same pattern. The heart of a human being beats roughly once every second. The rotation of the Earth takes 1 day. The orbit of the Moon, 1 month. The Earth's revolution around the Sun, 1 year. And the Sun itself orbits the center of the Milky Way, once every 230 million years. Everything moves to a rhythm. Everything, from cells to stars, dances to time's hidden melody. Perhaps the ancients sensed this long before science confirmed it. They built temples aligned with the stars, sang songs to the heavens, listened to wind and water as if they were voices. They knew that silence was not empty. It was full of presence. And now, we are learning again what they already understood. That sound and silence are two halves of the same truth. In deep sleep, Your brain waves slow to delta rhythms. Low, slow pulses that mirror the hum of the cosmos. That's why listening to the night sky feels so natural, so peaceful. It's not just imagination, it's resonance. You are synchronizing with the oldest frequency of all. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself floating in that soundless sea. You feel the universe breathing. A long inhale that expands galaxies. A long exhale that draws them together. You ride that breath effortlessly. No resistance, no control, just trust in the balance. Far away, a pulsar turns, emitting its steady beam of radio light. Another black hole collision sends faint waves your way, passing through you like invisible tides. The stars shimmer like instruments tuning themselves, and the vastness hums a lullaby older than memory. In that hum, there are no questions left, no ruse, no boundary between self and space. You are the vibration, the note, the silence between beats. And in that silence, there is peace, perfect peace, as though the whole galaxy were cradling you in soundless arms. You drift further, your thoughts slow, your breathing deepens. Each exhale releases the last remnants of the waking world. Each inhale pulls you deeper in a harmony with everything that is. There is no separation now. Your pulse and the pulse of the stars are one and the same. As you drift, you might notice, the rhythm becomes softer, slower, like a record slowing toward rest. Even the stars begin to dim, not from absence, but from the quiet relief of completion. The music continues, but now it plays through you, not around you. You are no longer listening to the universe. You are the universe listening to itself. Every vibration is your breath. Every star, your thought. Every silence, your peace. Let yourself go. Float in this harmony. There is no need to return yet. Let gravity, let music, let light carry you deeper into stillness. Because somewhere between those waves, between those beats, lies the gentle secret the universe has been singing all along. Everything is connected. Everything is in tune. And you, in your quiet, breathing stillness, are part of the hidden symphony of all creation. Before stars, before galaxies, before time was even a rhythm, there was the first pulse, a single unfolding of energy into space. It wasn't an explosion, as we once imagined, but an expansion, a quiet blooming of existence. So vast, so pure, that even silence had a stretch to contain it. The universe began as light, hot, dense, radiant light. And in those first moments, sound itself was woven into the fabric of everything that would ever be. Those vibrations still travel, still ripple, still hum in the background of all creation. They are the echoes of creation, the aftertones of the Big Bang, filling every corner of existence with their soft, invisible music. Astronomers call it the cosmic microwave background, a faint radiation, older than any star, that surrounds us from all directions. When they tune their instruments to the right frequency, they hear it as a faint hiss, a whisper of the universe's infancy. And even your television, if tuned between stations, once caught a trace of it. A few percent of that static was the literal echo of the beginning. Imagine that. The first light still speaking, the first sound still breathing, the first memory still unfolding. Billions of years later, in the gentle hum of the cosmos, you drift through that hum now, a wave upon an ancient sea. The stars around you fade, and in their place, you begin to see patterns, ripples of heat, tiny variations left from the moment creation exhaled its first breath. Those ripples became galaxies, clusters, worlds, and eventually you are made of those same fluctuations, atoms born from the cooling of that primal fire. Hydrogen first, then helium, and later, through the life and death of stars. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen. the ingredients of thought, breath, and awareness. The story of creation is not separate from you. It is you. Every atom in your body has been on a journey. Since that first expansion, each one has burned in the heart of a star, drifted through nebulae, cooled in dust clouds, and gathered again to form skin, blood, memory. You are the echo of creation given consciousness, the universe remembering itself through you. In this soft, endless sea, you can feel those echoes, not as sound, but as presence. They vibrate faintly through your cells, through the spaces between your thoughts. Every breath you take is a continuation of that first motion, the same energy, the same unfolding. Science calls it cosmic evolution. Spirit calls it awakening. But here, in the quiet of deep space, there are no names, only patterns returning to themselves. You watch the echoes ripple across time. Each one expands outward like light on water, slowing, stretching, cooling. At first, they move fast, the universe still hot and small, then slower, as galaxies form and gravity sculpts the sky, and still slower, until the rhythm becomes almost imperceptible. A whisper beneath the whisper, a silence so vast that it feels like peace. Perhaps creation never ended. Perhaps it continues even now. Each thought, each act of kindness, a small echo of that first awakening. Perhaps the stars are not burning away, but remembering how to shine. And perhaps you, in your breathing stillness, are part of that same remembrance. Close your eyes. Feel your heartbeat. It is not random. It is not alone. It is the echo of the first vibration, the universe's ancient rhythm, translated into your body. Each thump is a cosmic memory, retold through human life. When you breathe, you are replaying creation's story in miniature. The inhale, the universe expanding. The exhale, the universe resting. And in the pause between them, the quiet mystery of being, the same pattern, always the same, always infinite. You drift through the glow of the cosmic background, bathed in invisible warmth. It feels safe, familiar, like returning to something you never left. You sense that even in its infancy, the universe contained everything it would ever need. Stars, atoms, dreams, you, all of it, folded within the hum of beginning. It's strange, isn't it, to realize that even as you sleep, you are surrounded by the echo of your own origin, that the quiet you hear between breaths is the same quiet that filled the cosmos before the first stars were born, that the calm you feel is not just relaxation, it is the universe remembering how to rest. Let that thought cradle you. You are not drifting away from anything. You are drifting back to the first stillness, the first light, the first peace. Your breath slows. Your mind loosens. The boundary between dream and sky dissolves. You are a ripple, a tone, a faint shimmer in the infinite field. And that is enough. That has always been enough. As you float through the echoes of creation, you feel the truth whispered by the stars themselves. Nothing is ever lost. Everything that was remains. Every sound that was born still travels. Every thought that was felt still ripples. And somewhere, a particle of that first light is still making its way toward you. A photon that has crossed the dark ocean of time, just to find the eyes, the awareness, that will complete its journey. When it arrives, it becomes you, and you, in turn, become part of its endless voyage. One continuous wave, one infinite song. There are nights on Earth when the sky feels infinite. The air stills. The world below sleeps. And above, in that boundless black ocean, billions of suns shimmer. Each one a mystery, each one an unanswered question, burning quietly in the silence. It is on such nights that the cartographers of infinity begin their work. Not with compass or map, but with patience, with eyes that have learned to listen to light. They are the watchers of the heavens, astronomers, dreamers, philosophers. Those who sit for hours, nights, even lifetimes, gazing into the deep well of the cosmos, charting what cannot be touched, measuring what cannot be contained. They are the ones who turn curiosity into navigation, who translate the shimmering chaos above into lines, symbols, coordinates, not to possess the stars, but to understand them. Their tools hum softly. Telescopes, lenses, sensors that sip faint photons from across the abyss. Each image they capture is a fragment of a grander truth. Light that has traveled for millions, sometimes billions, of years to arrive here, at this exact moment, into a human instrument, into human sight. And so, every map of the stars is not only a record of the heavens, it is a diary of light's long journey home. You imagine one such observer now, a figure alone at a high-altitude observatory, perhaps in Chile, or atop Mauna Kea, or in the frozen plains of the Atacama. Their breath clouds the cold glass. Their gloved hands adjust a lens finer than a whisper. The stars shimmer in silence, and the data begins to flow, numbers dancing, points aligning, a constellation of information. But the observer doesn't just see the stars. They feel them, the quiet pulse of ancient fires, the slow swirl of galaxies beyond imagination. And for a brief moment, the scientist and the cosmos are not separate. One observing, one observed, but one awareness, mirrored across the infinite field. For in truth, the universe studies itself through us. Each telescope is an eye. The cosmos is built to gaze back upon its own creation. Each question is a star reflected in the human mind. When an astronomer measures the curve of a galaxy, they're tracing the curve of their own curiosity. When they chart the movement of light, they are following the trail of their own wonder. It is said that every act of observation changes what is observed. Perhaps, then, the universe grows more aware of itself each time a pair of human eyes looks upward. And perhaps that is the purpose. Not conquest, not comprehension, but communion. A conversation between existence and awareness, spoken in the language of light. The maps they make are beautiful, fields of dots and lines, each representing a sun, a world, a possibility. Some are spiral, some elliptical, some are regular, like the handwriting of time itself. And yet, no matter how vast these maps become, they always contain one small note, one quiet realization. The map is never complete. For as long as there is curiosity, there will always be another light just beyond the edge, another whisper in the dark. Still, the cartographers of infinity continue, not out of restlessness, but reverence. Each plotted star is a meditation, each discovery, a moment of cosmic stillness. The sky teaches patience, for starlight moves at its own pace. A beam that leaves a star today may not reach another world for millions of years, and yet it travels, unwavering, through the void, guided by nothing but the memory of its beginning. So too does the seeker's mind move through mystery, slowly, faithfully, across the dark landscape of unknowing, until, somewhere far ahead, a faint glimmer becomes understanding. You float now among these maps. Lines of light stretch below you, connecting points like constellations drawn in glass. They resemble neural networks, perhaps the brain of the universe itself. Each node pulses faintly. Each connection hums like a thought. You realize what the astronomer in the endless sea of space, where the dark flows like water and the stars drift like embers. There comes a quiet hour, a stillness so vast it feels as though even light holds its breath. This is the hour when galaxies sleep. They do not sleep as we do, with eyes closed and bodies surrendered to dreams. Their rest is more subtle, more eternal, a slowing of the cosmic rhythm, a softening of creation's pulse. Imagine a spiral galaxy, its arms vast and tender, reaching outward through the dark. Billions of suns turning in silent unison, each one carrying its own worlds, its own histories, its own brief flares of consciousness. Now imagine those stars dimming, not dying, but settling into a deeper calm. The newborns, hot, blue, restless, fade into elder stars, soft orange and red. The galactic heart slows. The swirling dust, the nursery of new suns, begins to thin, and a galaxy exhales. It is here, in this cosmic exhalation, that peace is born. Every galaxy has its cycle, a childhood of bright collisions and wild creation, an adulthood of steady spinning and star-making, and an old age of gentle stillness. The universe does not rush. It turns like a slow wheel, its rhythm measured not in days, but in eons. And yet, in that vast patience, there's a kind of grace. Just as the ocean rests between waves, the cosmos rests between bursts of creation. Even galaxies, in their majesty, need silence. You drift now between these great sleeping forms, some spiral like seashells, some elliptical and smooth as pearls, some ragged, like the handwriting of an ancient god. Each one glows faintly, the afterlight of 1,000 generations of suns. You feel their hum, a vibration older than language, slower than breath, and in that vibration, you sense the truth. The universe is alive, but its heartbeat is slow enough to become stillness. Somewhere far ahead, a dark galaxy, one that no longer makes stars, drifts alone through intergalactic night. It does not shine. It has nothing left to burn, and yet it continues to move. A silent wanderer. There is beauty even in that darkness. For rest, too, is sacred. The galaxy has given its light, its stars, its worlds, its warmth to the universe. Now it simply is, in the same way, when the day is done and our own small suns grow dim, we too must rest. We too must allow stillness to enter, not as an end, but as a continuation, a different form of life. If you listen closely, truly listen, you can hear the Milky Way breathing, not in sound, but in rhythm. Every 250 million years, it completes a single turn, one galactic heartbeat. And in that slow, majestic rotation, there is a lesson: to move gently, to shine when it is time to shine, and to rest when it is time to rest. As you float among these cosmic forms, your body feels lighter, as though gravity has released you. Your thoughts slow, becoming wide and soft. You feel not separate from the stars, but woven among them, a thread in the quiet tapestry of existence. In the sleep of galaxies, there is no fear of ending. There is only transformation. Stars die so that new stars may be born. Worlds crumble so that new worlds may rise. And through it all, the deep hum of being remains, unchanging, endless, peaceful. A single ray of light crosses your vision, the faint echo of a supernova, its energy still traveling through eternity. That light is older than Earth, older than time as we know it, and yet it reaches you now, proof that nothing is ever truly gone. Energy only changes form. So does life, so does thought, so does love. You feel yourself drifting now, as though you, too, have become a galaxy, a gentle swirl of memory and dream, slowly turning in the dark, resting in the silence that creates all things. And just before you fall completely into rest, a voice soft, immeasurable, seems to whisper from the stars themselves, "Sleep, little light, for you are made of us, and we too once dreamed." The words fade, and all that remains is the hum, the sound of galaxies breathing, the quiet rhythm of existence continuing without end. You exhale, the night deepens, the stars grow faint, and somewhere between their silence and your heartbeat, the universe keeps watch, a silent guardian of your dreams. Before there was form, there was light. Before there were stars, there was the whisper of energy, pure, formless, infinite. The cosmos was not yet awake, but it was dreaming of radiance. Scientists call this moment the cosmic dawn, the time when the first stars ignited. But perhaps on a deeper level, it was also the awakening of awareness itself. The instant when darkness realized it could shine. Imagine it now, a universe still cooling from the birth cry of the Big Bang, filled with invisible hydrogen gas, drifting, waiting silent. Gravity begins its ancient work, drawing those atoms together, folding the fabric of the void into soft knots of density. And then, the first spark, a point of unbearable heat and light bursts into being. A star is born, not from chaos, but from the calm persistence of nature seeking balance. That first light spreads like a ripple through eternity, an awakening wave. Wherever it goes, darkness bends to greet it, and a new world begins to glow. Astronomers believe that from that single era, billions of years ago, every photon of visible light that has ever existed descends in lineage. Every candle, every sunrise, every heartbeat illuminated by warmth is the child of those first stars. It is a beautiful thought that what you see, what comforts you when you open your eyes, was born in a flame older than all memory. Even now, as you breathe softly, light from those ancient stars travels across time to reach you. It touches your skin, your eyelids, your pulse. It mingles with the rhythm of your breathing. And in that union of ancient light and present life, you become part of the same architecture, the same unfolding design. Light, you realize, is not merely illumination. It is memory. Every particle of light carries the story of where it came from, its birth, its travels, its transformation. And so, when light touches you, it brings with it a quiet message. You, too, are a continuation. You, too, are part of the journey that began in the first spark. The light you see tonight is millions of years old. It feels immediate, alive, because consciousness and light share the same rhythm. Both move through time, not to escape the dark, but to give it meaning. You drift now in that glowing expanse, not as an observer, but as part of it. The photons that once crossed galaxies now move through your mind, shaping thought, warming emotion, turning memory into a soft luminescence within. Everything you have ever loved, everything you will ever be, exists within this web of light. And as the first scene closes, you feel the deep calm of belonging to something far larger than the self, something eternal, gentle, and bright. Light never travels alone. It journeys in waves, soft, endless, intertwined. Each photon, a messenger from a distant world, carrying with it a single note from a symphony of creation. When we look at the night sky, we are not seeing stars as they are, but as they were. Every glimmer is a letter sent long ago, still traveling, still whispering, "I was here." To the naked eye, the light seems simple, white, clean, whole. But when passed through glass or prism, it unfolds, a hidden rainbow, a silent revelation of structure. Each color, each wavelength, is a voice in the great conversation of existence. In laboratories and observatories, scientists decipher these messages from a single beam of light. They can read the composition of a distant sun, the temperature of a dying star, even the motion of galaxies billions of years away. How extraordinary that something so delicate can carry so much truth. Light is not only what we see, it is what allows us to understand. It bends through time, reflects off matter, changes with each encounter, yet never loses its essence. It adapts, it endures, it continues. And in that, light mirrors us. We too are travelers, reflected through the mirrors of memory, bent by time and experience, but still carrying within us the essence of where we began. Every moment we share, every kindness we reflect is a kind of radiance, a photon of the human spirit, sent outward into the vast field of others. Some lights fade quickly, some echo for generations, but none are ever truly lost. Even faint light, when given enough time, will reach its destination. In ancient myths, light was often personified as gods, flames, or messengers from heaven. But perhaps what those stories intuited was something deeper. That light is consciousness itself, woven into the fabric of everything. You imagine now a web of luminescent threads stretching across space. Each beam connects star to star, planet to planet, mind to mind, a network of meaning woven not by chance, but by the shared rhythm of existence. The weavers of radiance. That is what they might be called, those unseen hands of the universe that braid energy into matter, pattern into chaos, understanding into silence. Perhaps those weavers are the laws of physics, or perhaps they're something even more profound, the echo of awareness that pervades all things. You watch them work. You see how starlight bends gracefully around massive objects, curved by gravity itself. Einstein called it space-time curvature, but you sense something more poetic, as if light is learning to dance with the pull of creation. Even when it detours, light does not resist. It flows with grace, accepting the path given to it. And in doing so, it still reaches where it needs to go. What a quiet lesson that is. Not all journeys are straight. Not all detours are mistakes. Sometimes the curve, the delay, the unexpected reflection is what allows the light to illuminate something it would have missed. You breathe deeply now. The idea settles softly in your mind that even your slowest, strangest paths may be part of a perfect geometry. You simply cannot yet see. The stars above shimmer, their light older than sorrow, older than joy, and you realize they are not only burning, they are sharing, each one a silent teacher, offering its own brilliance to the dark, without demand, without fear. And just as light gives itself to the void, you too can give your calm, your peace, your small kindnesses to the world around you, never knowing where they may travel or whom they may reach. The universe listens, the fabric remembers, and the weavers continue their gentle work, binding every glow and shadow into the same luminous design. You feel your breath slow, your body softens. It is as if your own thoughts are beginning to glow from within, becoming part of that web, that infinite, quiet radiance, a soft fading hum, like a prism catching its last light. And so you drift, held by the same force that carries the light, steady, gentle, and endlessly kind. Beneath the luminous swirl of countless stars lies a realm of mystery, a vast, invisible skeleton that binds our galaxy together. It is not made of stars, gas, or even the cosmic dust that fills interstellar space. It is something unseen yet undeniable, shaping everything we know, the silent architecture of dark matter. Tonight, as you drift into deeper calm, let your mind float through this unseen domain where gravity hums in the absence of light. Imagine yourself drifting through the galactic halo, an enormous sphere that surrounds the Milky Way like a ghostly cocoon. There are few stars here, and yet there is weight, a presence that can be felt but not seen. Astronomers discovered long ago that the outer stars of the Milky Way orbit far too fast to be held by visible matter alone. Something massive, invisible, and mysterious must be providing the extra gravity. That something is dark matter, a cosmic whisper that holds galaxies in their embrace. Feel the soft rhythm of your breath as you float among invisible currents. Each inhalation draws you closer to the heartbeat of the galaxy, the pull of forces ancient and unfathomable. Each exhalation releases the need to understand everything at once. Because here, knowledge is not always light. Sometimes it is a shadow that tells us where to look. The Milky Way spins, a grand celestial ballet, and yet its motion reveals a secret. Most of what exists cannot be seen. About 85% of the mass that shapes our galaxy is invisible. It doesn't glow, doesn't absorb light, and yet its fingerprints are everywhere. Galaxies form, stars are born, and planets orbit within frameworks sculpted by dark matter's silent gravity. The stars are like golden leaves caught in the unseen currents of a cosmic river. As you listen, imagine the subtle gravitational web, filaments stretching across space like threads of silk, connecting galaxies like notes in a symphony. Where these threads intersect, galaxies are born. Our own Milky Way sits at one such junction, glowing faintly within the grand cosmic tapestry. Even as you rest, your atoms, your very body, are part of that pattern, suspended in the quiet flow of gravity and light. Close your eyes and picture a soft glow around you. Not light from a source, but a gentle sense of presence. That is the spirit of the galaxy itself, whispering through gravitational tides. Everything in the Milky Way, every star, every drifting particle of dust, every quiet world, is connected by these invisible lines of force. They hum like deep strings in an orchestra that never ends. Scientists, with patient precision, have mapped these patterns using the movement of stars, the bending of light, and the subtle temperature ripples left over from the Big Bang. Their discoveries read like poetry written in equations, a universe that hides more than it shows. Yet even in its concealment, there is wonder, because the unseen holds the shape of the seen, just as your dreams hold the shape of your waking life. As you drift deeper, imagine yourself floating between the visible and the invisible, between the shining stars and the gravity that binds them. You are in the heart of balance, where science meets serenity. Feel the peace of knowing that mystery is part of truth. The dark matter does not frighten, it cradles. It holds everything together with a patience that feels eternal. Let go now. Let the hum of invisible forces carry you deeper into stillness. The stars spin above you, their paths guided by hands you cannot see, the hands of gravity, the silent sculptor of galaxies. The cosmos breathes, and so do you, slowly, deeply, rhythmically, in tune with the great unspoken symphony that began long before your first breath and will continue long after your last. And in that thought, there is peace, the peace of being a note in the song of the universe. At the center of the Milky Way, hidden behind veils of dust and gas, lies a heart of extraordinary gravity, Sagittarius, A star. It is not a star, though once it might have been. It is a black hole, for a million times the mass of our sun, wrapped in silence and mystery. Around it, stars move at impossible speeds, circling an invisible point that devours light itself. Imagine floating near that heart, safe within the dream of distance. The stars there are restless, like embers caught in a spiral of time. Every motion, every flicker, every ripple of energy is shaped by the immense pull of the black hole's gravity. Yet, paradoxically, it is quiet. No roar, no violence here. Only the steady pulse of cosmic order. Even chaos, in the galaxy's heart, follows a rhythm. Astronomers once believed black holes were the destroyers of worlds, but now they understand them as architects. Sagittarius, A asterisk, doesn't just consume, it organizes. Its pull keeps the inner galaxy stable, guiding the orbits of millions of stars like a conductor leading a silent orchestra. Even light bends gracefully in its presence, curving through space before slipping into shadow. And if you listen closely, beneath the stillness, you can almost sense the faint hum, a deep vibration that echoes through the Milky Way. Radio telescopes detect it not as sound, but as rhythm, a heartbeat of pure gravity rippling through the galactic plane. It's as if the universe itself is breathing, its exhale shaping the path of starlight. Let yourself breathe with it now, slow, even infinite. Inhale the calm of vast distances. Exhale the weight of thought. You are floating beside a force that shapes reality without speaking. A reminder that even in silence, there is creation, and in darkness, the promise of light. The stars near the galactic center are unlike any others. They are giants, blue, radiant, and ancient beyond comprehension. Their cores burn so hot that they sculpt the very fabric of space around them. From their surfaces, streams of particles flow outward like celestial winds, weaving invisible threads through the galaxy. These winds carry not only heat and light, but the raw materials of creation: carbon, oxygen, iron, the elements that will one day form planets, oceans, and perhaps life itself. If you could drift among them, you'd see vast rivers of plasma stretching across the cosmic plane, luminous currents rippling through the dark. Some stars pulse like heartbeats, their brightness rising and fading in quiet rhythm. Others sing in tones too low for human ears, their vibrations rippling through the gas and dust, the hidden music of the Milky Way. This song is constant. It travels through light years of silence, a hum so delicate that it passes unnoticed, yet it is always there. Scientists translate those vibrations into sound, revealing melodies of creation, long, slow, meditative tones that mirror the rhythm of your own breath. You inhale, the galaxy expands. You exhale, and it contracts again, a cosmic reflection of stillness and motion. As stars live and die, they scatter their songs across the void. Supernovae, those magnificent ends, are not explosions of chaos, but crescendos in the galactic symphony. In their final moments, stars give back everything they've gathered, seeding the next generation of worlds. From that dust, new stars are born, new melodies, new harmonies, continuing the eternal music of existence. So, as you rest in this moment, imagine those winds flowing softly around you, ancient, luminous, gentle. Feel them brush against your thoughts, carrying away the noise of the day. The stars sing their lullaby across the ages, and you, a listener in the quiet of night, are part of their endless audience. The Milky Way unfurls like a vast celestial whirlpool, its arms spiraling outward in graceful arcs of starlight. Each arm is a river of radiance, billions of suns gliding through dark space, bound together by invisible gravity. These luminous bands are not static. They breathe and drift, slow as centuries, elegant as music. Imagine yourself drifting above them, weightless and calm. Beneath you, light gathers like mist, forming glowing filaments that twist and merge. Stars are born here, in the hidden nurseries of nebulae, vast clouds where hydrogen dreams of becoming light. The colors are soft, pale blue, silver white, faint pink, the hues of eternity seen through half-closed eyes. Astronomers once thought the arms were solid, but they are waves, density ripples that move through the galactic disk. Stars flow in and out of them like dancers crossing a stage, each one performing its part in a choreography that spans hundreds of millions of years. It is a slow waltz where light replaces footsteps and time itself keeps rhythm. Between those arms, darkness gathers, but not the kind of darkness that frightens. It is a tender, sheltering void, full of possibilities waiting to shine. Dust grains drift through it like cosmic pollen, carrying the promise of future suns. Every speck holds a history older than the Earth, a memory of a time when galaxies were young and fire was new. And as you breathe in now, imagine drawing that starlight into your being, soft, ancient, endless. With each breath, let your thoughts scatter among the stars. With each exhale, let the spiral turn a little slower, easing the pace of your mind. You are floating in the pathways of light, surrounded by the gentle pulse of creation itself. Here, there is no past or future, only motion, only glow, only peace. In the quiet folds of the spiral arms, great clouds of gas and dust drift in timeless rhythm. They are dark and vast, stretching across hundreds of light years, invisible to ordinary eyes, yet brimming with potential. Here, in the cool shelter of the interstellar medium, stars are born. These nurseries of creation are calm from a distance, but within them, invisible symphonies are unfolding. Gravity hums a patient tune, gathering loose particles, weaving them closer, whispering, "Come together, become something more." Slowly the dust thickens. Heat grows in the center of each cloud, and in time, a shimmer, a pulse, a spark, fusion begins. A new sun awakens. The birth of a star is not loud, but profound. It is the universe exhaling, releasing brilliance into the dark. Around each newborn star, disks of gas begin to swirl, the early sketches of planetary systems. Tiny grains collide, merge, and grow, forming the seeds of worlds that may one day cradle oceans, forests, and thought itself. Astronomers can watch this process unfold through telescopes, translating invisible wavelengths into color and light. They see the Orion Nebula glowing in pink and violet, the Eagle Nebula towering like celestial sculpture. Yet even those breathtaking images are only glimpses of a much gentler truth, that creation is always happening quietly, gracefully, everywhere. As you listen, let yourself imagine floating within one of these stellar wombs. Feel the cool mist of cosmic dust around you. Hear the faint echo of forming light. Each glowing particle drifts with purpose, yet without hurry. Just like your thoughts as you sink deeper into rest. The universe takes its time, and so can you. In this stillness, creation feels personal. You realize that every breath you take once belonged to a star. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a sun that lived and died billions of years ago. You are, in every sense, made of starlight. And as you exhale, you return a little of. If you could drift high above the Milky Way and watch it turn, you would see the spiral arms moving like liquid silver, graceful, unhurried, endless. They are not solid ribbons of stars, but patterns in motion, like waves upon the surface of a galactic sea. Each arm carries suns, nebulae, and clouds of dust along its flow, yet the pattern itself remains steady. It is a dance choreographed by gravity, light, and time. The motion of the spiral arms is subtle, a ripple through the galactic disk, guided by density waves that move slower than the stars themselves. As stars are born, they join the arm for a while, shining brightly in the midst of the glow. But eventually, they drift away, older now, sliding into quieter orbits. Still, the pattern persists, just as music continues even when a single note fades. Every turn of the spiral takes about 200 million years, a rotation so vast that, in human time, it feels almost eternal. While civilizations rise and fall, while oceans form and mountains crumble, the Milky Way makes only the faintest part of one revolution. Yet it never rushes. The galaxy moves at the rhythm of eternity, slow, smooth, balanced. As you imagine this cosmic dance, allow yourself to slow down too. Let your thoughts move like those stars, floating effortlessly through space, following their natural curve. You are a witness to a performance billions of years in the making. Each point of light has its place, and so do you. The spiral arms hum in soft frequencies, the vibration of gravity, the whisper of motion through silence. Scientists might call it orbital resonance, but to the soul, it feels like harmony. In every rotation, the galaxy keeps its time, holding together a balance of chaos and calm, a pattern that has no beginning and no end. Between the luminous arcs of the spiral arms lies a quiet expanse, not empty, but patient. The interarm regions are vast stretches of thin gas and ancient stars, drifting slowly through a soft haze of cosmic dust. Here, light travels unhindered for hundreds of light years, unbothered by clouds or clusters. The space feels serene, like a long exhale after the brilliance of creation. These regions are bridges, invisible corridors connecting one arm to another, where older stars glide through the darkness in quiet solitude. They're the wanderers of the galaxy, no longer bound to the nurseries of their youth. Some travel alone, carrying entire systems of planets through the void. Others drift in pairs, orbiting each other endlessly, whispering across eons. If you could listen closely, you might hear the hum of their motion, the faint resonance of gravity's pull, the music of slow movement through eternity. It is in these spaces that perspective deepens. The silence here is not absence, but fullness, a pause between cosmic notes. Just as a rest in a song gives meaning to melody, the dark between the arms gives shape to the galaxy's rhythm. As you float across this bridge in your imagination, the starlight seems softer, more personal. You notice faint glimmers, old suns, their light mellowed by age, glowing like candles in a distant temple. Some may have planets circling them still, ancient worlds bathed in gentle twilight, their histories long forgotten. You feel weightless among them, drifting with no destination. There is comfort in that, in knowing that even in the vastness, every path connects to another. Just as stars move between arms, so do we move between moments, from youth to wisdom, from restlessness to peace. Breathe in. You are moving through the galaxy's quiet corridors. Breathe out. You are part of its unbroken bridge of light. There is no rush. The journey is the destination. Far above the galactic plane, if you could gaze down upon the Milky Way, you would see more than beauty. You would see design. The spiral arms curve with mathematical grace, their patterns guided by laws both ancient and simple. From chaos, symmetry arises. From motion, stillness is found. It is the silent geometry of light, the quiet order beneath the music of the stars. Each arm flows in harmony with the others, tracing logarithmic spirals that never truly end. These shapes are not drawn by hand, but by gravity, the unseen artist of the cosmos. It pulls gently at every star, every grain of dust, holding the galaxy together in a perfect tension between motion and rest. The Milky Way spins, yet remains whole. It drifts through space, yet never falls apart. To the human eye, this vast balance feels incomprehensible, but to the dreaming mind, it feels familiar, as if the same geometry lies within us. The branching of trees, the swirl of a seashell, the rhythm of a heartbeat, all echo the same spiral, repeating from the smallest cell to the greatest galaxy. The pattern is not just out there. It is in everything that breathes, everything that exists. Imagine now that you are floating above that spiral, seeing it unfold slowly below. The arms shimmer like golden threads in an ocean of blue-black velvet. Their curves extend into infinity, smooth and unbroken. You drift with them, tracing the invisible symmetry of the universe. It feels like following a melody made visible. Each curve a note, each orbit a phrase in the song of creation. In this quiet, understanding dawns. The universe is not random. It is rhythm. It is harmony given form, light given motion. You are not separate from it. You are one curve in the same spiral, one note in the same song. Every breath you take follows the same geometry of balance. Expansion, contraction, stillness. Beneath the visible stars, beyond the glowing arms and shining nebulae, lies something unseen, something vast, quiet, and everywhere. The universe we see is only a fraction of what truly exists. The rest, the hidden weight of creation, is made of what scientists call dark matter, a mysterious substance that does not glow, reflect, or absorb light. It is invisible, yet it holds the galaxy together. Imagine the Milky Way as a shimmering disk of stars floating in a vast, unseen halo. That halo, though invisible, outweighs the stars by far. It is the cosmic skeleton, the silent structure upon which light and matter rest. Without it, galaxies would fly apart, their spirals unraveling into chaos. But because of this unseen force, everything remains balanced. Every orbit, every rotation, every beam of starlight follows the quiet pull of this invisible hand. Dark matter neither speaks nor shines, yet it hums through the universe like a deep, endless note, a sound below sound, guiding the dance of galaxies. Astronomers measure its presence not by sight, but by motion, how stars circle faster than they should, how clusters of galaxies remain bound when they ought to drift apart. It is the gravity behind gravity, the unseen architecture of existence. And perhaps, in a way, it mirrors what we carry within ourselves. There are forces in us too, invisible, immeasurable, that hold our worlds together. The weight of memories, of love, of hope. We do not see them, but they shape everything we are. As you breathe now, imagine floating through that invisible ocean. Around you, galaxies shimmer like distant lanterns suspended in the dark. You move effortlessly, guided by something unseen, yet comforting, a field of stillness that feels like home. The hidden weight of the universe does not press down. It holds you up like a vast hand of silence cradling all creation. You are safe in its gravity, calm in its presence. The stars spin slowly around you, their light bending in gentle arcs. The unseen becomes a lullaby, the soft hum beneath the music of the cosmos.
you.